so that if you guys have to leave early or something like that, you can go and grab that video down. All right, so what we're talking about today is bid these hands with me. On the screen are the topics. We're going to talk about different raises, different types of raises in competition, advancers' choices for game forcing and invitational new suits, aggressive balancing actions, responding to a 2-club opener, hand evaluations, stamen with weak bids, responding to quantitative 4-no, blackwood versus Q bidding, and voidwood. So in 2 hours, this is going to be a whirlwind of information. Another thing that I've added to this week, we're going to experiment, so I want some feedback. You guys let me know what you think. As we go through the hands, I've created a poll. So before we get started, we'll go through the bidding. You'll have your hand on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next screen so you can see that. All right, and I'm going to put the poll up, okay? So hand number 1, let's just try it out, see what we like. Hand number 1, north opens 1 spade, that's your partner, your south. East overcalls 2 hearts, and you hold this hand. So what I have here is what would south bid, and I'm going to launch it onto your screen, and you're going to get to pick what you would bid with this hand. And then we'll talk about what we do. Okay, so here comes, let's see how this works. You should now see a poll on your screen, and you can choose between, you would bid 3 spades, you would bid 3 hearts, you would bid 4 spades, you would bid 2 no. And I'm going to let it run for about 45 seconds to a minute, just when I see most people have responded. And it's all anonymous, okay? So do whatever. A lot of this is going to be based on also your system. There are different methods over this, and that's why I wanted to start out with this hand, because it really there's some interesting methods that experts play that you can't find in books. And so, oh, you lost the hand when the poll came up. Oh, are other people having that problem? Can you not see the hand anymore? Ah, okay. So let me go ahead and close the poll out so we can see. I think most everyone has done. This would be nice if you had your hand out. Oh, you can see both the hand and the poll, huh? Well, this is interesting. A lot of these issues, when one thing gets lost in another, is because of the bandwidth coming into your computer. I don't know much about it, but when I was talking to the tech people about some other issues we were having in the first few things, it was it depended on the speed of your internet, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this out. And it looks like 3 hearts and 3 spades were the big winners. And then 2 no trump. No one so far has bid 4 spades. That's actually a very good sign. These were the 3 that I expected the most. So let's go ahead and close it out. And I'll just share it says that I could share it with you, but, well, I'll go ahead and share. Let's see. You can see 59% of you voted. 37% picked 3 spades. 52% picked 3 hearts. Now, is the hand gone again when I did the launch? Can you see the hand and both of them? Both are still there. Okay. Can't see hand anymore. Okay, the hand is gone. All right. So let's close that out. All right. So now let's talk about it. Everybody can see their hand again. The poll is gone. Oh, you have to size your window to see both. That's what I'm getting from someone. So you guys can try to make your window a little bit bigger. Okay, so let's talk about this. It's a style thing, right? Your partner's open 1 spade. You've got four card support, and you have what I would call a limit raise. You have 10 high card points and a doubleton for your doubleton, 1 point for your doubleton club. So this is a limit raise. It's an invitational hand. And when you first start out bridge, 1 spade past 3 spades, we play as a limit raise. 1 spade, 2 hearts, 3 spades, we still play as a limit raise. But after a few years, we learn about cubids. Okay, and once you add a cubid to the hand, then 1 spade, 2 hearts, 3 spades becomes what we call preemptive. Okay, so those that voted 3 spades, it may still be that you haven't added, your partner hasn't added, let's say, your partner hasn't added cubids to the auction. A cubid in this case would be 3 hearts. When you bid the opponent's suit and it can't possibly be natural, that's what we call a cubid, right? So 1 spade, 2 hearts, 3 hearts would say I have a limit bid or better. Okay, so I have like an 11 plus point hand, and those are total points. Okay, if you guys play pure high card points, then it's like 9 to 11 as a limit raise. So whatever your methods there are. I talk in total points, so I say 11 to 12 points is a limit raise, counting your short points. And so in this case, 1 spade, 2 hearts, 3 hearts would be the limit raise, and 3 spades would be preemptive. Now, some of you answered 2 no, so you've probably taken like the defensive workshop that Chris and I put on a few years ago, or your partners taught you this, but this kind of thing you don't see in books. But this is what the experts are playing. They play 2 no here in competition, okay? Because 1 spade past 2 no is Jacoby 2 no, right? But once they interfere, Jacoby 2 no is off. And the experts are playing that 2 no trump in competition. Now this is just over a major suit opener. Okay, no, not minors. Put that in big red caps on your handout there. Major suit opener interference. 2 no now becomes your limit raise bid. And 3 hearts is game going, a game forcing 4-card raise. So in other words, you have 2 different raises. 2 no is your own limit raise only, and 3 hearts would be your game force. Now you might say, well, why do I want to bother with that? Why do I want to have 2 different ways? Let's say the auction goes 1 spade, 2 hearts, just as we have on the screen. We bid 3 hearts, and we're playing that 3 hearts, the cubid, is a limit raise or better. All right. Then it goes 4 hearts by west. Now North doesn't know whether you have a limit raise or whether you have a game force. North doesn't know whether they should continue to compete to 4 spades or if they should stop and double 4 hearts, right? So if you play 2 no, make the bid of 2 no with this hand, then partner knows you have just a limit raise. So if North is sitting there with a minimum opening hand, they might think, okay, let's just go ahead and double 4 hearts because I don't think 4 spades is making, right? You can make that judgment call. And if it went 1 spade, 2 hearts, 3 hearts, 4 hearts by west, now North knows you've got an opening hand and that 4 spades is where he wants to play. Now the question is it alertable? Yes, 2 no would be alertable, showing a limit raise if you add this to your arsenal, okay? And it is alertable. 3 hearts is not alertable because in the ACBL, cubids are assumed to be self-alerting is what they call them, self-alerting. And so you don't have to alert the 3-heart cubid, but the 2 no bid would be alertable. Okay, so a couple of points. It only works when partner opens a major and they overcall, right? Not over a minor. And 2 no would be your limit raise only, not limit raise or better, limit raise only. And the cubid of 3 hearts would be the game force. Okay, unlikely you've got slam on this type of hand because 2 hearts actually shows values here. Over a preempt, that might be a different world. Say it goes 1 spade, 3 hearts, preemptive. Now South might still have in mind that we could have a slam if partner's got a really big hand. It would be unlikely because we've only got 10 high card points here. But that's something you want to talk with your partner. It is not by far not standard. You aren't going to find it in any books anywhere, okay? But that's what the experts are playing nowadays in competitive auctions. If you don't want to play that yet, and you want to add the Q bid, it's fine to make 3 hearts a limit raise or better. That you do want to add to your bidding box soon. And does it have to be the other major? No, it can be an overcall. Say it goes 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 3 diamonds. 1 spade, 2 clubs, 3 clubs. No, it's not the other major. It's whatever suit the opponent bids. You Q bid. You bid the opponent's suit. And that's when you're saying either it's limit raise or better, or if you want to throw the 2-no bid in to be your limit raise only, then the Q bid would be the game force. All right. Judgment wise, no matter what your system would be though, you'd want to play this as an invitational hand. So if you and your partner are still playing 3 spades as an invitational bid, that's what you'd bid with this hand. And that's why we had so many different bids on this poll, because we have a very wide range of experience on our webinar today. So whatever your methods, as long as you treat this as a limit raise, that would be fine. But adding that 2-no as a limit raise and Q bidding their suit, their overcalled suit, would be a game force. That's a cool tool to add there. And the Q bid would not be forcible, would not be alertable, but the 2-no bid would be alertable. And that's the kind of thing that partner's going to forget occasionally, because 2-no we sort of think is natural. So you have to be tolerant. It usually takes about 3 forgets. Partner forgets, you forget, partner forget, and then you both remember. Or the other way around, depending on who introduces it. It's much easier to recognize it when you've got the hand, say South in this case, than when South bids 2-no and North has to recognize 2-no as the artificial bid. 2-no promises at least a 4-card suit. With a 3-card suit, you'd start with a negative double and then come back and raise your partner. That's the delayed raise. A couple of weeks ago, the last time we had a bid these hands with me webinar, we talked about how the delayed raise shows 1 less card than the direct raise. So either bidding a new suit or making a negative double with this hand. That's what I would do with this hand. I'd make a negative double and then I'd come back and bid spades if I only had 3-card support. So yeah, the 2-no and the Q bid both show 4-card support or better, but at least 4 cards. All right, any other questions? All right, let's try our next hand. And by the way, after the webinar is over, when you guys are going back and looking at these hands, if something doesn't make sense, email me. I don't mind, and I can post the answers on the blog. Because if you got a question, other people have questions as well. All right, next hand. North opens 1 club, East bids 1 spade, South passes, and it's West's turn to bid. So let me go ahead and take a look at the hand, and then I'll put the poll up so you guys can answer the poll, and then we'll come back and talk about the hand. All right, getting lots of votes here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, looks like most people have voted. I'm going to go ahead and close it out and share the votes. Looks like 61% voted 2 hearts, 29% said 3 hearts, and 11% said 2 clubs, and 4% said 4 hearts. So this one actually has to do with some style as well. Can you guys see the hand now that the poll is gone? Beverly, if you, I've been told that if you widen your screen, you can see both the poll and the hand. But I'm not sure if that'll work on a Mac. I know your computer's a Mac. All right, so 1 club, 1 spade pass to us. Generally, when you first start playing, new suits by responder, new suits by advancer are forcing. Okay, as you talk about, as you advance, play more advanced ideas, we have new suit by advancer. Okay, west, just a little vocabulary here. South, because north open would be the responder. Okay, west, because it's the partner of the intervener, is called the advancer. So new suit by responder is still forcing, but new suit by advancer is generally non-forcing. Now, I want to clarify that though. If the overcaller had overcalled, say, well, we can't do it on this one, this particular auction. If they overcalled at the 2 level, and it wasn't a preempt, because over a club, everything's a preempt here. So let's say north had opened 1 diamond and east had bid 2 clubs. Okay, so their overcall's a 2 level. Now west 2 heart bid would be forcing, because east is showing more points, right? Here on the east hand, they're only showing, well, you know, they could have 8+ points. Neither vulnerable, they could have 8+ points. But a 2 level, if north had opened 1 diamond and east had bid 2 clubs, now east would be showing like 11+ points. Okay, so that's why 1 is forcing and 1 is not forcing. In this particular case, you would want to play 2 hearts is a non-forcing bid. Okay, non-forcing. So we wouldn't want to bid 2 hearts with this hand. What you'd want to do is start with a Q bid. All right, now this hand, you have 3 different ways to bid hearts. You could bid 2 hearts, but that would be non-forcing, like less than a limit raise. All right, you could bid 3 hearts. All right, now 3 hearts, a jump shift by advancer, you're jumping and shifting suits, would be invitational. So like an 11 to 12 point hand, 6 card suit. Okay, we've got the 6 card suit, but we're still too good for that. So on this hand, we'd start with the Q bid. So by bidding 2 clubs, okay. And if Q bids are new to you guys, just watch the video again or send me an email. Q bids allow the opponents to really be able to show the strength of their hand once you add that kind of bid to your hand, to your bidding system. So here, let's follow the auction out. 1 club by north, east would bid 1 spade, south passes. West starts with 2 clubs. Now east is going to assume you have spades. That's what they're going to bid. All right. It's a 2-way bid, in other words. When you Q bid as advancer, you either have a limit raise of partner's overcall, spades in this case, or you've got a good, like 14 plus 15 point hand. 14 plus is a good number, with your own suit. It's similar to doubling and originating. However, that shows 17 plus. As advancer, if you Q bid and originate, you're showing your 5-6 card suit and 14 plus points hands. So if West started with 2 clubs here, and if you guys are taking notes, you might want to write the auction down. 1 club, 1 spade pass, 2 clubs. Let's say North passes, they don't have anything else to say. East says 2 spades because they have a minimum overcall, right? And remember, they're assuming you have spade support. They don't realize you've got this big hand with hearts. South would pass, and now you'd come back over 2 spades and bid 3 hearts. That would be showing an opening plus hand, good opening plus hand, 14 plus points, with your own 6 card suit. you could be a really good 5-card suit. If you had ace, king, queen, 10, 5th here, you didn't have the 6th heart, that would be okay as well. But it's a 6-card suit or an independent 5-card suit. Independent 5-card suit would be 4 of the top 6 cards, 4 of the top 6 honors. So Q-bidding and then bidding your new suit as advancer is actually a forcing bid, right? And opposite partners 10 or 11, or we think minimum 10 points. They could be on the 8 or 9 point bid, but that's an unusual kind of hand. Then partner would either go back to spades because they got lots of them, or support you. It would be forcing 1 round. So East would have to bid something over your 3-heart bid. Now, if you don't play Q bids, you have to make some kind of loud noise with this. And maybe if you don't play Q bids yet, you have an agreement with partner that 2 hearts is forcing. And if that's your agreement, you can go ahead and bid 2 hearts, all right, because it's forcing. But if you do play Q bids, 2 hearts would be non-forcing, even though it's a new suit. New suits by advancer over 1 level overcall are non-forcing. Right? People play different ways, so you have to. It might be a point you want to discuss with partner. Maybe you guys have never discussed it, so it's a good thing to know. Make an agreement. We always say, you know, any agreement, right, wrong, or bad, worse or perfect, right? There are no perfect agreements because it's bridge. As long as you have an agreement and you know what the other person is doing when they bid it, that's the most important thing. All right. But the experts are playing with this hand. You start with a Q bid and then originate to show the 14+ point hand. All right. Any questions? Are you guys out there? You're very quiet. All right. I'll continue on here. All right, here we hold North's hand. East opens 1 diamond. South passes. West bids a heart. North passes. East bids 2 clubs. At this point, what do we think East hand is? What do we know about East hand? You guys can type the answer. What do we know about their shape? Diamonds and clubs, right? We know at least 9 cards in the minors. Could be 5-5, but at least 9 cards. Okay, unbalanced. That's the key. East is showing an unbalanced hand, right? So they have at least 4 clubs to rebid 2 clubs. So they have to have, if they only have 4 clubs, then they have 5 diamonds. On this particular auction, it could be suspect. East might have only 4 diamonds and they have 5 clubs, and they couldn't open 1 club because then, they couldn't open, 1 club because then rebidding 2 diamonds would show a reverse. Okay, those sometimes people say I don't do reverses. You have to do reverses. It's hard to play the game without doing reverses. The reverse would be when you rebid a second suit that's higher than your original bid suit. Now 2 clubs is not a reverse here, so it's not showing any extra values, but it is showing 9 cards in East hand. Okay, then the bidding goes pass. West passes. Okay, so now we know that West has a minimum hand because they didn't move over 2 clubs, right? We also know that West prefers clubs over diamonds because they could have corrected back to 2 diamonds. And then we come to North's hand. All right, so take a look at North's hand or look at it on your handout there. And we'll put the poll up and see what everyone will bid. All right, so what's North's bid? And here comes the poll. Would you pass? Would you bid 2 spades? Would you double? Would you bid 3 spades? Getting a lot of choices for 2 spades and pass and double. So far, nobody likes 3 spades. It would be sort of weird to bid 3 spades when you couldn't overcall 1 spade. I would agree with that. So yeah, we're at the Two spades is sort of winning out, although double is catching up. And I try to put bids here that are pretty much, you know, there's an option. It's a judgment thing. So once we get done with our poll, we can look and see what might be the better choice. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out the poll. And pass got 28%. Two spades got 44%. And double got 28%. All right, so let's talk about those three options because they're all very good choices. Those would be my three top choices. Three spades would never be, and no one voted for that, so that's a good thing. Okay, so what do we know? We know East and West very likely have an 8-card club fit. If West didn't have 4 clubs, they might very well go back and correct to 2 diamonds. Okay, assuming that East has 5 diamonds and 4 clubs. So I would assume that my opponent has an 8-card fit now, and they're at 2. And general rule is when the opponents have found an 8-card suit at the 2 level, they're happy, and we don't like our opponents to be happy. So we do something. We push them out of 2 clubs. All right, so that would eliminate the pass here. You have to take some action. Defending 2 clubs is not what you want to do on this hand. All right. Now you're saying, well, I couldn't bid before, so what makes me be able to bid now? The key is knowing that partner has some points on this hand. Your opponents have settled in 2 clubs. They didn't try for game, so they've got about 21 points between them, maybe 22. 19 to 21 points is what I would take this auction for, right? You've got 8 high card points. Let's say they have 21. Let's give worst case scenario. They have 21. You have 8 high card points, or 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 high card points. So that's 30. That means your partner's sitting over there with 10 high card points. Worst case scenario, maybe 12. For some reason, they couldn't bid. Maybe they've got clubs and diamonds and they could never bid anything. They have points, but they couldn't bid, right? The second point you know is that your opponents have an 8-card fit, right? When your opponents have an 8-card fit, it's highly probable that you have an 8-card fit as well, right? Now, West bid hearts, so we won't try to play in hearts. East has bid diamonds and clubs, right? So let's not try to play there. The likely fit that we have is the spade suit, right? So this is what we call a balancing bid. You're in the pass out seat. If you pass, East will play 2 clubs. They have half the deck. You have half the deck. They have an 8-card fit. You most likely have an 8-card fit, right? And if they have a 9-card point fit, it's 100% that your side has an 8-card fit, okay? So if East were 5-5 and West had 3 or 4 spades, say 4 clubs, now they've got a 9-card fit and it's 100% you've got an 8-card fit, right? So in either scenario, it's right to bid 2 spades on this can. That as a partner, okay, if I were sitting in South hand and I saw this auction, then for North to bid 2 spades, not being able to overcall 1 spade, I clearly know that North is bidding my hand, okay? North is bidding South's hand. So South, don't go waking up over there and go, oh, wow, partner bid 2 spades and jump to 4 spades, okay? Partner is bidding your spades, partner is bidding your 10 high card points, okay? It's called a balancing bid. And what you're trying to do, your goal is either you get to play 2 spades, right? And now you have half the deck in your 8-card fit at the 2 level, or your opponents take the push to 3 clubs. Sometimes they make it, sometimes they go down, but at least they aren't comfortable in their 2-club bid. It's actually interesting because this week, one of my pairs, Jeff Mexroth and Eric Rodwell, we've had this kind of auction on 3 different boards, and they've chosen to defend instead of compete with their hands. Now, I mean, they're world class. They're probably the best pair in the event, okay? So I'm not criticizing in any way, but I've been watching this particular, whether you are an aggressive competitor at the 2 level or not. And on 3 different hands where they chose to defend rather than take action, we lost imps. We actually lost imps because the other table took action. So I'm going to ask them about those hands when we're not in the middle of trying to win a world championship here. But I'm sort of taking notes along the way and see what their thinking was and why they decided to defend against those kinds of things. So they're 0 for 3 on defending an 8-card fit at the 2 level. So I would stick with be very aggressive. If your opponents are in less than 2 hearts or less, in other words, you can bid 2 spades to play, you want to do it. Even with this type of hand, partner's not going to think you have values because you could have overcalled 1 spade, right? They're not going to think you have really good spades. You might even do this with only 4-card suit. Okay. Someone is asking about fitting on 2 different screens. Oh, if you download the PDF and print it, then you don't have to have the PDF file. You don't really need the PDF file open because the webinar screen has the hand on it. I know this is all. Don't balance if they are in 2 spades, right? If they're in 2 spades, let's say you had, let's say they're, West bids 1 spade. Okay, so the question is, what if they're in 2 spades? If your opponents are in 2 spades, now you have to balance at the 3 level. Now it's not as clear, right? So if you know you have an 8-card fit, you could go ahead and balance at the 3 level. But on this particular auction, let's say it goes 1 diamond, 1 spade by West, 2 clubs, past 2, or yeah, one diamond, past 1 heart, past 2 spades, pass, and then say your hearts and spades were reversed here, right? To go and bid at 3 hearts would be a bit much on this particular hand. You do tend to compete to the 3 level with a known 8-card fit. So if you had overcalled, if you had been in there with your hearts and partner had raised so that you knew you had 8 hearts, then you would bid 3 over 2. You would bid 3 hearts over 2 spades with only 8. Once your opponents get to the 3 level, however, to bid 3 over 3, okay, to bid your suit at the 3 level over their suit already bid to the 3 level, you want to have at least 9. Okay, so 3 over 2 with 8 is fine. 3 over 3, you need 9. Oh, that's cute. You can write that out. 3 over 2 is fine with 8. 3 over 3, you need 9 on that one. All right, that was a lot. That was a lot on that one. But the general rule out of this hand is if your opponents are in 2 hearts or less, right, and you know they have an 8-card fit, that's another one, right? If you don't know they have an 8-card fit, then you let them go. If you know they have an 8-card fit, you want to push them out of it. You want to either grab play as declarer, or push them to the 3 level, and maybe they go down there. All right. Any other questions on that one? We're good. All right, let's try our next hand. Responding to 2 clubs. All right, so here's your hand, as beautiful as it is. This is called a Yarborough, by the way. No 10s, jacks, queens, kings, or aces. It's a Yarborough. It's a famous story of a king Yarborough who played bridge and wanted to know if anyone in the village had ever held a hand without an honor, okay, without an ace, king, queen, or jack, or ace, king, queen, jack, or 10, the 10 being an honor. And so he put out across the country that if you held this bad of a hand, he would pay you 10,000 francs, which I guess is probably a lot back then. And so that's why it became known as a Yarborough, because of this challenge, I guess you'd call it, that the king put out across his country. And I don't know how many people collect it, but it's rare. It's a rare kind of hand. And it's not that kind of hand you want to hold when your partner opens 2 clubs. It's very sad for partner when when they open 2 clubs and you have this hand. So lots of choices. This hand won't be hard to remember. So let me go ahead and put your poll up here. What would you bid with East's hand? And I'll give you about a minute to answer. So go ahead and fill in your poll here. I'll take a drink of water. By the way, if anyone can get me a Starbucks, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to be here 16 days with no Starbucks. Oops, here. Thank you. You guys let me know. Poll. Here you go. And this is dependent on what type of convention you play a little bit. And when we get done with the poll, then we'll talk about the various kinds of things and what most of the experts play nowadays, and the theoretical reason behind it. No one's choosing 3 clubs. Poor 3 clubs. Yeah, that wouldn't be a choice. 2 clubs, playing 2 clubs is strong here. If you play precision, 2 clubs has a meaning of 6 card suit, 11 to 15 points. But just playing standard, 2 clubs would actually be strong, artificial, and forcing. Okay, so East hand, even though it's very, very, very bad, partner could have game in their own hand. So you'd have to bid something over 2 clubs. Partner started with 2 clubs, so you can't go below partner. You'd have to go up the ladder. All right, let me close this out. 2 diamonds seems to be winning here. 2 spades. Okay, we'll talk about the different ones. Let me close this out so that your hand comes back up. And looks like 2 diamonds was bid 68% of the time, 2 hearts 29%. And that's dependent on what you and your partner play. So let's talk about the options here. If 2 diamonds would be just a waiting bid, there is a convention called a double negative 2 heart bid. And that says you've got a bust hand. All right, now by definition, a bust hand means less than 2 queens. All right, so a king would not be a bust hand because it's a control, right? Less than 2 queens is not less than 4 points. That's where people get tripped up. All right, less than 2 queens means you have no high card points, what we have in this hand. You have 1 jack, you have 2 jacks, you have 3 jacks, you have 4 jacks, you have a queen and a jack. If you have 2 queens or better, and a king would be better because it's a second round control, then you would respond 2 diamonds. Okay, and that's a very popular, someone wrote a book on it, and it's a fad. It's sort of like the bell-bottom jeans and the, I don't know, all of the clothes that are coming back yet another generation again. And it's a fad bid, and you will not find any experts out there. You might find one that I don't know about that plays 2 hearts as a double negative. The problem you have with double negative with this kind of hand is you might bid 2 hearts and partner's suit. Remember that 2 club bid might be a long heart suit, right? It might be a long spade suit. It might be a long club diamonds, right? It's all of our strong hands are taken and pushed into a 2 club opener. So when East bids 2 hearts and hearts is West suit, you've now wrong-sided the contract, right? Now the weak hand is playing the heart suit, and the strong hand is going to be down and dummy, right? So that can't be right. When it goes, you bid 2 hearts, say 2 clubs, 2 hearts, double negative, right? We're discussing the different types of options, okay? Clearly, I don't like 2 hearts, double negative. You can tell by the way I'm approaching this. But again, knowing what you play is far more important. So if you and partner play this convention and you understand it and you got it, then that's great. If you bid 2 hearts, now partner has to bid 3 hearts. If you bid just 2 diamonds with this hand, what that does for you, just 2 diamonds is waiting, right? It gives partner the space to describe their hand. That's what you want to do. If you bid 2 diamonds with this hand and any other hand that you have, now partner can rebid 2 hearts to show a strong hand with hearts, 2 spades to show a strong hand with spades, 2 no to show a balanced hand with 22 to 24, right? 3 clubs and 3 diamonds would be 9.5 tricks with at least a 6-card minor, right? But in other words, it's just a step response up so that partner can show their hand. The big hand can get their hand on the table and still be at the 2 level, right? 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, now partner bids 2 hearts. Okay, now this would be the type of hand that you would make like a double negative with, right? And there's some options. Some people play 2 no, bidding 2 diamonds and then rebidding 2 no is a double negative. Bidding 2 diamonds and rebidding 3 clubs is a double negative. The 3 clubs is a more popular bid over than the 2 no. If partner rebids 2 hearts, they're not balanced, right? So you're not likely to play in 2 no. So either one of those bids would be a negative bid, being less than 2 queens. If it goes 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 3 clubs, then 3 diamonds would be your negative and on this particular hand. So I would advocate bidding 2 diamonds on all of your hands, whether they're good, bad, or whatever, letting partner describe their hand. So if it goes 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 no, now you can pass, right? 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 no is not forcing. So that's a common question I get about a strong 2 club opener is it always game forcing? And the answer is no, especially when you have a hand like this, right? 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 no, 22 to 24, ease can pass. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts is forcing 1 round because West may have a game force in their own hand, despite your bad hand. They don't need 13 cards from you. They just want, they don't need any points from you. They just want to know what suit you like, right? So if it goes 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, let's go with 3 clubs double negative, right? 3 clubs double negative. Partner, I have a bust hand. Now, West is warned by you. And if they have game in their own hand, they just have to bid it. They just have to bid 4 hearts or bid a new suit. If they rebid 3 hearts, you can pass now. It's non-forcing, right? So there are ways to describe your bust hand without stealing the dummy from partner or taking up space from partner, right? Which is what the double negative does. The other point on the double negative is sometimes you don't realize how good your hand is. Say you had this hand with a void in hearts, right? Take those 3 hearts and add a spade, add a diamond, and add a club, right? So you're 5, 0, 4, 4. And the bidding goes 2 clubs. Right now your hand doesn't look so good, right? You bid 2 diamonds and partner bids 2 spades, showing an unbalanced hand, 8.5 tricks, and at least 5 spades. Well, all of a sudden your bust hand with your void in hearts has become a huge hand, right? You have first round control in hearts. You've got 4 trump for partner, right? You have something to contribute to this auction. And if you start with 2 hearts, you're never going to be able to get across to partner that your hand has gotten better, right? So until you know the value of your hand, you don't want to be giving partner misinformation, right? Which is another problem of 2 hearts being double negative, because a lot of times you don't know how good your hand is. Although I'll give you, this hand is pretty bad because you have no shape on that. Some people play controls. Excuse me. Some people play controls. Some people play high card points, step responses to high card points. The problem with each one of those is the same as the double negative. You have potential of stealing the dummy, making the big hand the dummy. Sometimes because you're bidding artificial, the opponent gets the double for a lead, which causes some problems later on. If opener had long, strong diamonds, would you still open 2 clubs? I would still open if you had 9.5 tricks. The going rate of opening 2 clubs with a minor nowadays because it's such an awkward auction, right? 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 3 diamonds. You've wrong-sided it, but it's rare that you open 2 clubs with a long minor nowadays. Usually you treat them as no trump hands and go forward. If you're 6-3-2-2, you would treat it as a no trump hand and either open 2 no or 3 no, depending on how many points you have. If you do have a long, say you have 10 tricks in diamonds and it's not a no trump hand, you're 6-3-3-1 or 6-4-2-1, you know, you've got a hand, you can't treat it as a no trump. Then go ahead and open 2 clubs, partner's going to be 2 diamonds, and yeah, it's going to get wrong-sided, but more likely than not, you may end up playing in no trump, or it just won't matter. And if it matters, you're with the experts, you're with what everyone else is doing. But because 9.5 tricks is so rare in the minor, and that's why they've upped it. The books say 9 tricks for the minor, more like 9.5 tricks. Otherwise, just open one of a minor and bid your hand out. Try to stay away from opening 2 clubs when you've got a long minor because the auction is very awkward. Okay, any questions there? No? All right, let's go to our next hand. Hand number 5, it goes pass, pass, pass. 1 spade with this hand. I think everybody would open a spade. Double by south. Now that's a passed hand double, by the way. Notice that. That's not a full value double. South passed originally. So I would think that south definitely has 4 hearts and has not, say, 9 to 11 high card points, right? Because they were originally a passed hand. All right, so double, partner bids is 2 spades, and north passes, and it comes back to me, to you, with east hand. And this is a bidding judgment hand. I have several of these in today's lecture, so that we can start bidding more with our shapely hands. So let me go ahead and put out your poll here. Oops. Wait. Here we go. I didn't change the slide. I apologize. There's your hand. Take a moment to write it down, or if you have the slide in front of you. And I'll put up our poll here. Here comes your poll. What would you rebid with the east hand? Pass, 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 1 spade, double, 2 spades, pass, to you. Oh, I have 2 3-spade options. Oh, how funny. So we'll add those percentages together. Some are choosing 3 spades as option 1, and some are reading all the way down to the bottom and choosing 3 spades at option. I think I just couldn't come up with any other bid with this hand. Okay, so it's pretty divided. It's pretty even. 52% say 3 spades and 48% say 4 spades. All right, so let me go ahead and close this out so you guys can see the hand again. By the way, when I put the poll up, can you guys still see my video, or does that go away? You can still hear me talking, right, when the poll is up? No one's there. All goes away but the audio. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so we've got this hand, and we've gotten a raise. Okay, so partner's got at least 3 spades with us. And that means we've got 9 spades. Okay, so you get to actually upgrade your hand. Let's just start with what we have here. How many high card points does East have? looks like 15, right? 15 high card points, and we get a couple of length points, right, for the 2 extra spades, so that's 17. And now we've got a spade raise. So the way that you want to reevaluate when you know you've got 9 trump is you get an extra point when you know you have 9 trump, right? We're already counting 2 points for the 5th and 6th spade here. So when you get your 6 card suit raised, you get yet another point, right? So that would give us 18. If your shape is like 6-3-3-1, so you have a singleton, give yourself 2 extra points, right? So on this shape, if we were 6-3-2-2, we'd add a point and have 18. Since we're 6-3-3-1, we'd add a couple of points and get to 19, right? If we happen to be 6-4-2-1, right? 6-4 is a huge hand, You'd actually add 3 additional points. So two length points plus 3 points for the raise, 5 total valuation points, plus your 15 high card points would get you to 20, right? So in any of those cases, 18, 19, or 20, you could bid a conservative 3 spades. I would call it conservative 3 spades. You are vulnerable, right? And 2 spades from partner could be really weak. I get that. And if your partnership style is that West could have 3 spades and that's it for their raise, which a lot of people do play, then 3 spades is probably the safer bid. If partner can have something over there, not much because they only bid 2 spades, then I would go ahead and kick it into 4 spades. If you're playing imps, that's the team game, for sure you'd want to bid 4 spades because it's a vulnerable game. And your game tries are you bid them and try to make them. That's what we call it. That's a game try. You bid it and try to make it. But what you want to take from this hand is how to upgrade your 6 card suit when you get a raise. When you know you've got 9 and you're looking at a 6 card suit. Okay, so you're holding a 6 card suit and you've been raised. If you have a side suit singleton, then you go ahead and give yourself 2 extra points. If you're more balanced, say 6-3-2-2, right, add a club and take away a diamond, then you get 1 point. And if you're more like 6-4, 6-4-2-1, or 6-4-3-0, then you get 3 extra points, okay, because it's a playing hand, right? So the more shape you get, the more points you get. 1 point for a balanced 6 card suit, 2 points for a singleton, side suit singleton, and 3 points if you've got like a singleton and a doubleton. In other words, 6-4 in a 2-suited kind of hand. So pretty much balanced between the two poles here. So a lot of you 3 spaders probably have played with me before and know that my 2 spades can be really super weak. And maybe 3 spades is a little more on the conservative side. But if you upgrade and you've got your 19 highs, then you just want to bid 4 spades. And the one who knows goes. That old adage of Eddie Cantor's works on a lot of hands. Having your 10-9 of spades is actually a pretty good holding. Knowing that South has the hearts on top of you, so South would be down here, right? Meaning your Queen of Hearts is not so good. And knowing that they've got some other values, probably the King of Diamonds here, right? Downgrading and bidding 3 spades. What you want to do is bid 3.5 spades. This is a perfect 3.5 spade hand. And that's pretty much why the poll was pretty much 52-48 is what you get, because it's that close. With the 10-9 of spades, though, I would go ahead and bid 4 spades. I got so many chances of making it. Maybe partner's got the King of Diamonds. If South has the club values and partner has the red suit values, then I'm going to be good. If partner's got the club values and South has the red suit values, then I'm not going to make it. That's how close it is. All right. Any other questions on this one? That's interesting. The poll was split 52-48. All right. Let's try. We're going to take a break after hand 6. We're at the bottom of the hour here, or top of the hour. 10.5 hour difference is very strange. I've been all over the world. This is the first time I've had a half-hour time difference. I can't get used to that. So it's the top of the hour for you, at the bottom of the hour for me. But nonetheless, we'll do one more hand. We'll take about a 5-minute break so you can stand up, get some more coffee, that kind of thing, and then we'll come back and we've got some more hands. Okay, south passes. You open one spade. North doubles. And east bids your 2-no. All right, so some of you might not play. This is called Jordan 2-no. What partner is telling you here, what east is telling you, your partner over the double, is they have 4-card support and they have a limit raise or better. Limit raise or better in spades. Okay, and then south passes and it's to you. 3 spades would say, opposite a limit raise partner, I don't think we've got anything. 4 spades would say, opposite a limit raise partner, I think we've got it. So let me go ahead and put your poll up for hand number 6. What would West bid? And I managed to not have 3 spades there twice. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the poll here. And it's looking like 4 spades is getting 79%, 3 spades 17%, and 3 no is actually getting some votes. Pass has got 0. That's good. We don't ever want to pass partner in an artificial bid. By the way, those that don't play Jordan 2-no, 2-no would be alertable. Let me bring the hand back here. 2-no would be alertable, and so you would know that your opponents play that is artificial. Okay, so Wes would never pass 2-no. That's a good thing. No one answered pass. 3-no trump. For some of you guys, you might play what's called a non-serious 3-no, and that might be possible. If you have that agreement, West could have a hand opposite a limit raise where 3-no would be saying, I'd like to make a slam try partner, but it's not quite good enough, but it's too good just to bid 4 spades. It's between a Q bid and a 4-spade bid. And those that voted for 3-no trump, that might be what you play. Is that what you guys were, those that voted for 3, it said 3% voted 3-no trump. Do you guys play non-serious 3-no? Double overcall does not affect the Jordan response. Jordan is only over a takeout double, okay? Now, based on the very first hand, if it went 1 spade, 2 clubs, and you guys have added 2-no as your limit raise only bid, then it would still be a raise there. But Jordan itself, the convention of Jordan, is only over a double, not over an overcall. Okay, so I'm getting some yeses that you play non-serious 3-no, and that would be a fine bid with this this hand. That's why I threw the 3-no in there, in case there were some of you out there that played non-serious. It's too good of a hand to just bid 4 spades, but it's not good enough to bid 4 clubs. To bid 3 clubs to Q bid clubs. This is another hand evaluation. Okay, you've gotten you have 9 spades because the Jordan response shows 4-card support. If you had only 3, you'd start with redouble, right? Redouble and then raise spades. That delayed support thing again. And with the 9-card fit, you get an extra point when you're balanced. Okay, so we get an extra point here. You could actually give yourself a couple of extra points for this hand because you're 5-4, right? That shapely hand, 5-4-2-2. If you're 5-3-3-2, I would just add a point, right? So we have 10 in spades, 5 in clubs, 15, 16 for the long spade, and add a couple of points for the doubleton, the 5-4 shape. So you're up to 19. So yeah, this would be a little bit too much for 4 spades, but if you don't play non-serious 3-0, that's the bid you'd make, and that's why 80% of you chose 4 spades, and that's what I would go with, not playing non-serious. 3 spades would say to partner, if all you have is a limit raise, I'm not interested in being in game. So three spades would be just a little bit of an underbid, because if partner has 11 to 12 points and you've got 19, right? I think we've got 4, 10, 14, 15, 16. Oops, let me go back. Opposite 11 to 12, then let me cut off here. Okay, can you guys hear me again? I think too many people are coming on my internet. All right, let me know you're there for now so you can hear me. Can everybody hear me now? Yeah, I know. Okay. It should be coming back. I got a message that my internet was low. Yeah, I'm going to turn my video off for right now, so you won't be able to see my face. You shouldn't be able to see a picture. I got a message that the internet, I guess all the bridge players are coming back from dinner now, and they're jumping on the hotel internet, and so the internet's it's slowing down on my end. So to make sure you guys can keep hearing me and everything, I'm going to go ahead and take my video down, because that pulls on the internet. So you can't see me. You shouldn't be able to see me, but you should be able to hear me. Okay, so let me go just real quick through the evaluation of this hand one more time. So you've got 10 high card points in spades, 5 in clubs, so that's 15 high card points. I'd add 1 point for the extra spade, which is 16. And when you're 5-4-2-2 with this, and you get a raise, right? Partner gave you a raise, right? So you know you've got 9 trump. The key is the 9th trump. When you know you have 9 trump, you get to add some more points, right? So our initial 16 points is just without a raise, 15 high card points plus our link point. Then once you get a raise and you know you have 9, and the key to this is 2-0 is showing a 4-card support, right? If partner had only shown you 3 cards, you wouldn't get any more points. You just have a 16-point hand. Since partner has raised you and you know you have 9 trump, you now get to add 2 more points. If you were 5-3-2-2, you'd add 1 more point for the raise. But since you're 5-4-2-2, being that 5-4 combination, you get to add 2 points. If you were 5-4-3-1 with a singleton, so a singleton or 2 doubletons, you get to add 2 more points when you know you have a 9-card fit. All right, so that would get us up to 18 with this hand. And 18 opposite 11 or 12, I wouldn't try slam, especially with North doubling, right? Because partner's got a minimum, probably just the 11 to 12 point hand. And North's got their opening hand. North is not a passed hand here like the previous hand. So North's got a full takeout double on this kind of hand. So 3 spades would be saying, partner with the limit raise, I don't have enough. We've got too much for that. So jumping to 4 spades says, okay, let's play game. I've got enough for game. I don't think there's slam here. All right, so 16 total points, and then you get an extra 2 points for partner raising you, showing a 4-card trump. No, in other words, you know you've got 9 between you, 9-card fit between you. Balanced hand with a 9-card fit, you get 1 extra point. Unbalanced hand with a 9-card fit, you get 2 extra points, is the way you want to look at that. All right, I think we're right up to our break now. Yeah, It's our break time now, so about 5 minutes. And if you guys have some questions during break, oops, let me bring that slide back. If you have any questions during break, go ahead and type them up. I'll be happy to answer them when we get back. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my audio off right now as well. But if you have any questions, then I'll be happy to talk about them when we get back. So another 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, we've got about 2 minutes left in the break. I'm getting some questions. Someone asked about Marty Bergen being coach of USA 2. You know, it's funny you bring that up because I was blogging last night about the team members in the senior event, and I noticed that Marty Bergen was the coach of USA 2. And I don't know if that's a joke or he's not here. He didn't come to India. Or if he actually works with the pairs. I can't imagine it's a joke, but when I saw it, I thought, oh, that's a joke. So he may very well work with the pairs. I mean, that's what coaches do. They don't necessarily come. Usually the coach comes. If they're on the team and they're a coach, they usually make the trek. But maybe Marty decided that India was too far to go. And he worked with the pairs on Bridge Base Online, and he's their coach. But that's the first time I've ever seen that in any World Championships. I've been working World Championships since 1984, and he hasn't played in so long that he hasn't been to a World Championship as a player in decades. Another question is, what are some of the duties as captain of the team? Oh my gosh, where do I start? A big part of what I do is keeping the guys in the game. I say guys because all my team is in the open and they're all men. The Venice Cup is the women's event, and the Dorsey Bowl is a senior event, and they're mostly men in the Bermuda Bowl and in the Senior Bowl, and then the women play in the women's event in the Venice Cup. I've been captain of every type of team except for the Venice Cup. That's just too hard of a job, I think, to keep all those women in line. But what I do is I make sure they're prepared. So say like tomorrow morning's match against England, tonight's match against, our last match was against Jordan. And so before the match comes up, I put our lineup in. In the round robin, what we're in right now until Saturday, it's called a blind lineup. So you can't see you can't see who's at the other table. When Sunday starts, assuming we qualify, knock on wood, then I'll actually be able to see who our opponents are, and then there's more strategy to seeding, whether I want to put my precision. I have one pair that plays precision, two pairs that play 2/1. And there's strategy as to whether you put the precision pair against the precision pair or the precision pair in the same chair as the precision pair, versus I've got one of my pairs is very conservative, one is more aggressive but not as aggressive. My precision pair is super aggressive, and so there's strategy as to how you seat them at the two tables depending on who the opponent is there. So there's strategy there starting on Sunday. Right now, because the lineup is blind, I put the lineup in, I see who their opponents are, I check the opponent's convention cards, and our coach is great. He has annotated all of the convention cards, highlighted them, and marked in red any kind of unusual system. And our team has a defensive database that has defenses to all of these weird systems that they play in Europe and Asia and other parts of the world. And so I pull that defense. If I see they're playing something unusual, I pull that defense for my pair to review. At the World Championship level, and actually at the national level in the U.S., you can bring in a defense to what's called multi-2 diamonds, but that's the only convention that you can actually physically bring a piece of paper in with you and have your defense in front of you before you bid. So tonight's pairs against Jordan, each one of my pairs has their own version of defense. And so I carry those around with me, and when I see there's a multi-2 diamond bid on a defense card, I make sure my players have their defense with them before they go into the room. That's just one thing. Other things are like Eric Rodwell is a world-class pianist. So I make an effort to find a piano for him to play for about an hour every day, because unbelievably, when he plays the piano for about an hour and he goes in and plays, it's another world. It is another world there. I also know my players' personalities, how they react to stress and adversity. And so I try to bounce them back, get them back in the game when they come out and they've had a bad set. Each one of them have their own little quirky way of dealing with stress. I don't know if quirky is the right word, but their own way. And so I interact with them. It's a lot of, my job as captain is got a lot to do with the psychology of the game, and keeping them in the game. Believe it or not, these world-class players still have issues with adversity and coming back. So those are just a few things. There's lots and lots of others. I try to blog that, by the way. Up on the screen is the blog, playbetterbridge.wordpress.com. And each night I'm summarizing our day and telling funny stories and trying to tell what it's like behind the scenes. And I do talk about what I do as captain, and sometimes I'm captain and coach, so I talk about what the coach does. So you can read more about it there. Our break's now over, so I'm going to go ahead and come back to our Fit These Hands with Me. But go ahead and on the blog, and you can see, and if you have questions there, I'd be happy to answer them. Just post them on the blog, and I'll respond, because it's sort of, I think it's neat to know what goes on at the world level. It's not anything like it anywhere. Okay, so let's come back. I have a question. Let's see. Let me read it out loud. On the hand where you recommended the cue and then originate, what would happen if your partner is close hand and would bid 4 spades? Okay. So let's go back just very quickly where we had the hand where we we cue bid and originate. This one. So the auction went 1 club. This is a good question, so that's why I'm jumping back real quick. 1 club, 1 spade by your partner, pass. And what we talked about doing is cue bidding, starting with 2 clubs. Partner's going to come back and bid something, and then you're going to come back and bid 3 hearts. The question is, what if partner just jumps up to 4 spades? Okay, partner can't jump up to 4 spades. Partner has to bid a new suit, right, and let you further describe your hand. Understand you have to have the agreement that the cue bid could be either way. If you have the agreement that the cue bid is always spade support, then East in this case could jump to 4 spades, right? If you have the agreement that it could be a hand like we have on the screen, or it could have be spade support, partner is going to bid 2 spades to say, I've got a bust overcall. I probably shouldn't have overcalled, right? Then you could bid 3 hearts. Or partner's going to bid a new suit. Maybe they bid 2 diamonds. Maybe they bid 2 hearts. Maybe they bid 2 no, right? They're going to bid something other than 2 spades. Anything other than 2 spades says, partner, opposite your limit raise, if that's what you have, I have game interest. I have a opening hand kind of hand for my overcall, right? And at over 2 diamonds or 2 hearts you can raise. Over 2 diamonds, you can bid 2 hearts. Over 2 no, you can bid 3 hearts. Okay, so if you have this agreement that you could have this hand in your cue bid, partner can't jump to 4 spades. So you should never have that problem. They'll just rebid 2 spades. Okay? All right, let's jump ahead back past our break. Here comes our break again. By the way, I'm going to try this again next Wednesday night. We're going to talk about defending these hands, or next Wednesday morning for you guys. Sorry, Wednesday night. Hopefully at that point, our team will be in the semifinals. Again, knock on wood. And we'll know whether or not the Polish team got to stay in or not. I think some things are going to happen over the next day or so, and the Polish team is going to be forced to withdraw. But you didn't hear that from me. All right, here's hand 7. Another gorgeous hand. West starts with 1 no, and North passes. So let me go ahead. You've got your hand. Not too hard to remember here. 4, 4, 4, 1 with 3 high card points. And here's your pole. What would you bid with this hand? 2 no trump, pass, 2 clubs, or 3 no trump? Lots of choices for pass and 2 clubs. Those are pretty much your 2 options. Those are the 2 bids I would consider. 2 no and 3 no was all I could think about I could come up with for that poll. Really only 2 choices here, pass and 2 clubs. 2 clubs being Stamen. If you guys play Stamen, 2 clubs would be Stamen in this case. Looks like 2 clubs is winning out here. All right, let me go ahead and close the poll. And 2 clubs got 63% of the choice, and pass was 37%. All right, so let's look at these 2 options. What do you think about your hand if you laid it down as dummy in 1 no trump? How many tricks do you think you'd have for partner? What do you think? Maybe a heart trick, right? Maybe you could promote, maybe partner has ace, king, third of hearts. Maybe you give 2 heart tricks to them if the jack of hearts comes down, or you can finesse it, kind of thing. But otherwise, your spades and your diamonds and your clubs are pretty useless, right? So you don't have much to contribute if you passed 1 no. Some people play garbage Stamen so that you could bid 2 clubs anytime you have 4, 4 in the majors. And if you play that system, great. What I would say to you, if you don't play garbage Stamen, I actually don't play garbage Stamen myself, but that's just me. There's nothing theoretically wrong with it. It's fine out there. But just a standard bid. This is sort of a logic bid, you know me and logic and bridge. If I can get my partner to bid 2 diamonds or 2 hearts or 2 spades, then I would pass. I'd be quite happy, right? If I can make spades trump or hearts trump or diamonds trump, then my hand has a lot more to contribute, right? I can get some club roughs. There's more entries to my hand to take finesses into partner's big hand, right? Partner opened a no trump showing 15 to 17. So now there's transportation to maybe finesse a diamond, finesse a spade, right? It's a much more valuable hand if I can make one of my long suits trump. Okay, so even if you're not playing garbage stamen, right? When you've got this type of shape where you're short in clubs, maybe you've got 4 spades, 4 hearts, and 5 diamonds and a void in clubs. But it's just with the short club. Those that have taken modern bidding with me, I call this the 30-year rule because I'd only seen it every 30 years until about 2005, and now I see it a whole lot. So I don't know what changed from when I was 8 years old to when I was a little bit older. But in this hand, let's take the bidding out. If you've got a pen and pencil with you, 1 no pass, the opponents are going to be passing throughout. 1 no, 2 clubs. And West responds 2 diamonds. I don't have a 4-card major. Fine. You pass, right? You pass and play 2 diamonds. If partner doesn't have 4 spades or 4 hearts, the odds are they've got at least 4 diamonds. On a really bad day, say, you know those days where everything goes wrong. Okay, on one of those bad days, partner could be 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 5 with 5 clubs, right? 3 spades, 3 hearts, 2 diamonds, and 5 clubs. And now you're playing in a 4-2 fit. But life's still good because who's declare? Exactly, your partner. You don't have to play it, so it just doesn't matter, right? But that's playing for the worst case scenario. You're not going to have those rainy days as often as you think. So with 3, 3, 2, 5, right? You play in your 2 diamonds, and you know, partner just tries to take as many tricks as possible. I will tell you that 2 diamonds in your 4-2 was probably still better than 1 no, right? It's just still better than 1 no. Because you still can rough some clubs with those diamonds and get over to take the heart and the spade finesse. So even worst case scenario, it usually works out better than leaving your partner in 1 no trump. If partner bids 2 hearts in response to 2 clubs or 2 spades in response to two clubs, then you pass and you're in love with your hand, right? I'm getting a few people saying the internet's going out. I mean, the audio is dropping off. So hopefully, it looks like my internet's back up. I think that's my internet connection. Considering I'm on the other side of the world, it's not so bad. Okay, so let me know if you're hearing me okay. I know that it looks like it's back up to 95%. So hopefully you can hear me better. All right, so in this case, you'd want to start with 2 clubs. And by the way, in response to stamen, partner only has 3 choices: 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, or 2 spades. All right, so there's no way that you can get too high by bidding 2 clubs. Okay, 2 no is not a response to stamen. That's not a response. Just don't do that kind of bid. Because remember, partner might have the hand you're looking at on the screen. Okay, so when you are 4-4-5-0 or 4-4-4-1, like we're on the screen, it's got to be short clubs though. Okay, it doesn't work if you're short diamonds or short hearts or short spades, because now you can't pass anything partner bids, right? If you had a short diamond and it went, say you had singleton diamond, 4-4-4-1 with a singleton diamond, it went 1 no, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds. Well, you can't leave partner in 2 diamonds with your singleton diamond, right? Now you have to bid 2 no, showing 8 or 9 points. And now partner bids 3 no, and then the opening lead comes down and you have to put your dummy on the table, right? That's when you look around for a fire alarm and try to pull the handle so you can get out of Dodge. So it only works with a short club, this kind of bid. Do you recommend... okay, the question is, do you recommend playing 1 no, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts as some sort of scramble sequence to say you were just looking for a 4-card major? That's the garbage stamen that someone was talking about earlier, to allow the hands where you have both majors but not diamonds. And garbage stamen, that would be garbage stamen, where when you can bid it with just 4-4 in the majors, I don't personally play garbage statement very often. When my partner wants to, that's what I do. You don't find many experts that play it, and I sort of go with what the experts do. It's a majority pool. They play way more hands than the rest of us. So if for some reason they have decided it's not so good, then I go with that. You know, if Bob Hammond tells me no, there's some reason not to go that way, then that's the way I usually do it. I haven't really found a theoretical reason that I can explain to you why they don't do it though. So I think it's fine. I think over one no trump, there's so many various advanced systems out there that they have other ways to showing that, and that's simply why they don't play garbage statement anymore. So I would say, yeah, it's fine to play that kind of auction. One no, two clubs, two diamonds. If partner responds, two diamonds, bid two hearts to show 4-4 in the majors and get out there. And statement itself generally shows 8 or more points. Okay, this is an exception because you're short in clubs. And statement can be balanced or unbalanced. It doesn't have to be a balanced hand, particularly. All right, next adventure here, hand number 8. Oh, we have 25 minutes left, so let me see. One diamond, or pass by south, one diamond, pass, one spade, double by south. There's that past hand takeout double again. I tried to put a few of those in tonight or today, so that you can sort of start noticing when they're past hand takeout double, they don't have as many points anymore, maybe 9 to 11 points. Then partner raises to 2 spades. So this is a hand evaluation kind of thing again. So one diamond, you bid a spade, partner raises double, partner raises to 2 spades, pass. And I'm going to go ahead and put the poll up for you. What would you bid with East hand? I'll give you about a minute to respond. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the poll off there. Go ahead and put your vote in, about 5 more seconds. All right, let's go ahead and close the poll so we can see the hand again. We had 4% would pass, 25% would bid 3 spades, 7% would bid 3 diamonds. That's interesting. I was trying to think to myself, if I would bid 3 diamonds, I put that in sort of an interesting question kind of thing. Then 64% would say 4 spades. All right, so let's talk about what we hand evaluation. We've got 8 high card points, right? And an extra point for our 5th spade. And anytime you've got a void, right? And we don't know a partner has 4 spades here, right? They might have 4 spades. They could have 4 spades and not be able to bid Jordan because they didn't have the values to bid it, right? But with this type of shape, right? So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 high card points. 1 for the length point is 9. In this kind of shape, I would go ahead and give myself an extra 2 points, which brings me up to 11. Right, and partner's shown us, oh wait, we do know partner has 4 spades. I apologize, I missaw the auction. We do know we have a 9 card fit. So with this shape, right, with the 5-4 shape in the void, go ahead and give ourselves 2 extra points, right? So that brings us to 11. And we know that our void is going to be valuable. How do we know our void is valuable on this auction? What gives us that idea? Right? Spades are trump, and South has shown heart values, right? South double. Yeah, exactly. Punish those opponents for telling you where their values are, right? South is promising at least 4 hearts and at least 4 clubs. So that's where their values are usually, okay? And so our heart void is beautiful. We love that. It would be much worse if partner had opened the heart and raised to 2 spades. Now I don't think I would bid 4 spades with this hand. I think I would upgrade it. I would definitely upgrade it and bid 3 spades. But I wouldn't be as excited if my partner had opened a heart versus opening a diamond. On this hand, I know partner has 4 diamonds. They could have only 3 diamonds. They could be 4, 4, 3, 2 if you play that. A lot of people nowadays open 1 diamond and that promises 4. So I know I've got some kind of double fit. And I know my opponent's double has told me they have values in hearts and clubs. So this hand I would upgrade, even though it's only 8 high card points. I'd go ahead and bid 4 spades with this hand and take a shot at making game. But listening to the opponent's auction, that double is what puts it over for me, knowing that there's heart length in South's hand, and those hearts aren't sitting in my partner's hand. More likely in South's hand than my partner's hand. So I'd go ahead and bid 4 spades on this one. If you bid 3 spades, that's within the realm. Passing is a little conservative. I know you have only 8 high card points, and that's why I wanted to talk about these hands in this webinar to show you the value of 5-4 hands, 5-4-4 hands, 6-3-2-2 hands. How do I know partner has 4 spades? They've raised my 1 spade to 2 spades. If they only had 3 spades, they might make a support double. Now, if you don't play support doubles, partner could raise to 2 spades with only 3, but usually they try to find another bid other than 3 spades. On this particular auction with the takeout double, 2 spades is pretty close to guaranteeing 4 spades. Because you have some other options. You can pass the double, you can redouble if you play support doubles, yeah, it's a redouble, support redouble, doubles and redoubles. So in this auction, Wes would redouble to say I have 3 spades. So I would take partner for 4 on this particular auction. On a rainy day, could be only 3, but for the most part, because there are other bids they could make over the double, I would take them for 4 in this particular auction. All right, next hand. Oh, this is a fun one. Pass 1 no, pass 4 no by South. Pass, back to you. All right, so take a moment, take a look at the hand. We'll put our poll up here. What would North bid? 6 no trump, pass, 5 no trump, or 5 clubs? I'll give you about a minute to answer. And it's going between 6 no and 5 clubs. That's good. I'm not sure what 5 no would be. 5 no would be pick a slam. It would be an unusual kind of bid. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out the poll in about 5 seconds. Go ahead and get your vote in. And then we'll talk about it. All right. So 88% said 6 no trump and 12% said 5 clubs. All right, so what that South's 4 no bid is showing us, it's called a quantitative bid. And it shows 16 points balanced. Maybe a bad 17, like 4-3-3, that ugly duckling shape, but it's balanced. And and it's asking you, it's saying, I know you have 15 to 17, partner. If you've got 17, bid 6 no. If you have 15, pass. And if you have 16, well, look at your shape, right? When we're 4 triple 3 16, we usually downgrade that kind of hand to a 15. This hand, we've got 4 4 3 2, and we have 17. So we'd want to, the 4 no is not inviting the 7. But just because we have a good shape and 17 points does not bid 7 no. 7 no is not an, I didn't give that option to you in the poll, but 7 no would not be an option because partner's got a balanced 16-point hand across from us. All right, so when we have balanced opposite balance, we actually need more high card points to bid 7. So in this case, 6 no would be the normal bid, right? Partner is asking us if we're at the top to bid 6 no. A more advanced response to 4 no, though, would be the 5 club bid. You bid your, you know, partner doesn't have majors because they would have stamened or they would have transferred, right? They would have done something before they jumped to 4 no. But partner could very well have a 5 card minor or maybe 4 in the minors to where 6 clubs might be a safer contract, especially with that ace and 1 diamond. Okay, so over 4 no, you can bid your 4 card suits, your 4 card minors in this case. You wouldn't bother with the majors because you know partner doesn't have those. Up the line to say, partner, I accept your 4 no bid, and I'm giving you a choice between 6 of a minor and 6 no. You decide on your hand, right? So if North is sitting there with heavy, say ace, king, jack, 4th of clubs, king, queen, 4th of diamonds kind of thing, and they know that 6 no might be a little iffy there, they could go ahead and raise 5 clubs to 6 clubs, right? But it's just a sort of choice of slams is the way you look at this. Opposite of quantitative 4 no, bid your 4 card minors up the line to give partner an option, because sometimes partner's got a 5 card minor over there. Say partner had 5 clubs and a doubleton diamond. Well, then for sure you may want to be in 6 clubs because you can take more tricks that way. But this is 5 clubs would be an advanced response to 4 no. If you bid 6 no, that would be the normal response. Just say, hey, I accept your invitation. 5 clubs would be the more advanced response there. And pass you wouldn't want to do because that would show a minimum no trump opener. And 5 no is sort of a pick a slam in a minor kind of hand. Maybe, well, you wouldn't be 5-5, you opened a no trump. I don't know what 5 no would be. It would be, I shouldn't have opened 1 no, partner, sorry. 3 honors, 2 honors is okay. To bid 5 clubs, you're just bidding your 4 card suits up the line. You're not showing any particular strength. Two out of the top 5 would be fine in response to 4 no. The question was, I thought you needed 3 honors, and it's more of just a suggestion of a spot to play. Usually partner goes back to no trump, but on the strange hand that they might have 5 clubs with your 4 clubs, then they're going to know that 6 clubs plays better. So the honor requirement is not as big on that particular bid. All right, hand number 10, and you can sort of feel I'm speeding up a little bit because I want to get to the last hand. That's our void wood hand. We've got about 13 minutes left. I know a lot of you guys have to get to your bridge games this afternoon. So here we've got 2 club opener, 2 diamonds by North, South open 2 clubs, right? So we're looking at the big hand here. 2 diamonds by partner, just awaiting. 2 hearts by us, partner bids 3 hearts. Okay, so partner's showing us, this is what this would be. This would be showing at least 3 hearts because our 2 heart rebid showed 5. And our partner is showing some kind of control, some kind of first or second round control. And we don't know where though. It's not in the heart suit and it's not in the spade suit because we're looking at those 2. But they have some kind of control, a void, a singleton, an ace or a king in one of their side suits with at least 3 hearts. All right, so I'm going to put up the poll here. What would South bid? Choices are 4 no trump, 3 spades, 4 hearts, and 3 no trump. We'll take about a minute to make our bid, and then we'll talk about the choices here. About 10 seconds and we'll turn the poll off here. So get your vote in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. And we have 32% bid 4 no, 55% bid 3 spades, 9% bid 4 hearts, and 5% bid 3 no. All right, I think this is the first time we've had choices in all 4 boxes here. So this is the point on the list was the difference between bidding Blackwood and Q bidding. And when you've got space to investigate, okay, when the opponents haven't jammed you up and you have room between the last bid, which is 3 hearts here, and 4 no trump, you look at your controls in your side suits, okay? If you have first or second round control in your side suits, okay, the first round control would be an ace or a void, second round control would be a king or a singleton, then you go ahead and bid Blackwood. What we have here is we have a sorry side suit in that diamond suit, right? So since we've got the space between 3 hearts and 4 spades, 4 no trump, we can go ahead and Q bid and not just jump to 4 no right away, right? Because we've got the space, we might as well use it. We can start a Q bidding sequence to see if partners got the control bid in the diamond suit, okay? If we bid 4 no and partner shows us an ace, and we bid 6 hearts, right? And they take the ace, king of diamonds right away. We hate that, right? That's just irritating. So when you've got the space, you start with your first, some people play just American Q bids, which is first round control. Others have advanced to playing what are called Italian Q bids, and that's first or second round control. Either way on this hand, you would over 3 hearts, you bid 3 spades to say, partner, I have slam interest. We've bid and raised hearts, so hearts are trump. 3 spades would say, I have slam interest, and I want you to Q bid. I want you to, or maybe even North could take over at this point and bid Blackwood themselves if they had the other suit stopped. But usually in the strong 2 club kind of hand, South is in charge and North is showing their controls. So let's say North bids 4 clubs over our 3 spades, okay? So we're carrying the auction out. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 3 hearts, 3 spades, 4 clubs by partner, right? Our sorry side suit is still sorry. Partner hasn't solved it, right? So in this case, we would bid 4 hearts, and everyone at the table should know now that we Q bid spades, partner Q bid clubs, and we still couldn't Blackwood. So we've just drawn a big picture to the opponents and our partner that diamonds are the problem, right? So all there is in North's hand, what North is looking for now is if North has a control in diamonds, right? If they have a control in diamonds, then they can continue on to 4 no trump, or maybe just bid 6 hearts or bid 5, or, you know, they can keep bidding. But if North is also looking at 2 diamonds, and they know you've got it at 2 or 3 small diamonds, right? They know that slam's not there, and they can simply pass 4 hearts. It's a way to stay below game or stay at game, stop from going above game, in other words, when you've got 2 small opposite 2 small. In this case, you don't have a trump issue. But sometimes you lose 2 tricks and then you have a trump issue and you have a trump loser, right? Trumps go 5-0 or something like that. And you're in 5 hearts and you're down 1 when you could have been in 4 hearts. So Q bidding is a way of solving those sorry side suits. And then bidding Blackwood once it's solved. And a question was, if all you care about is diamonds, could you start with bidding 4 clubs yourself and skipping the spade suit? And that works as well. Now partner might think that spades is an issue though, right? If you bid 4 clubs, well, on this particular hand it would work fine, because if you bid 4 clubs and they bid 4 diamonds, then you could go ahead and Blackwood. If you bid 4 clubs and they bid 4 hearts, then you know you've got 2 diamond losers. So with this particular hand, skipping spades would work just fine. Sometimes skipping over a suit though later in the auction complicates things, because partner thinks you've denied. When you skip over the spades, you've denied a spade control, and partner may think that's what you're looking for and not the diamonds. So sometimes it causes a little issue, but with this particular hand, you could skip the spades because you're trying to find out about diamonds and go ahead and bid 4 clubs. That would be fine with this hand, but you don't want to do that. You want to play when you're thinking about lying to partner, which is what 4 clubs would be. You would be lying to them because you would be denying a spade control. Play out all the scenarios, what partner could do to you over 4 clubs by you denying the spade control. And as long as you could handle any follow-up auction, you can do that kind of thing. That would work fine to find out what you absolutely want to know, which is diamonds in this case. That would work fine. All right, let's hand number 11. This is another hand evaluation. I'm going to jump through this one pretty quickly so we can get to our voidwood hand, and because I know a lot of you have to get out of here. 1 club pass, 1 heart by north. You bid 1 spade over call with this hand. South doubles, that would be that support double I was mentioning earlier, the support double and redouble. So south is promising 3 hearts, and our partner raises to 2 spades. North passes, and now we come back to you. So this is a hand evaluation. Here's an example of the 6-4-2-1 that I was talking about on the second slide, where I talked about 6-3-3-1 or 6-3-2-2 or 6-4-2-1, right? You'd get 3 extra points for this hand. So we've got, let's see, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 high card points. 2 link points is 17, and then 3 additional points for having our 6-4 hand. So that adds to 20. But our opponent south has opened a club, so I would actually subtract out the queen of clubs and bring it back to 19. But nonetheless, I would have plenty to bid 4 spades on this hand, right? I would at least take a call. If you only raised to 3 spades, it's a little conservative. You're shapely, you're 6-4, you've got the wasted queen of clubs, but you don't have any wasted values in North's heart suit. So what points partner has seem to be working with your spades and diamonds. So I would go ahead and bid 4 spades with this hand. But you do get 3 additional trumps, 3 different points, 3 additional points when partner raises your 6-4 hand. Like this. So you can bid more, even though you don't have that many high card points. All right, any questions on that? I went really fast so we can get to our voidwood hand. No? Okay. Let's finish up with this beautiful, beautiful hand here. Another 2 club auction. That's one of our themes today. You tend to not want to open a strong 2 club bid when you're 2 suited, but since you're 6-5 here, you're going to be driving to game anyway. It's just a matter of getting your partner's preference. Okay, so let's say it goes 2 clubs, past 2 diamonds by east, just waiting. South doubles, now that's not a takeout double, that would be, I want a diamond lead. I have diamond values. Okay, so now you sort of know your queen of diamonds is very sad. Or actually, you know your queen of diamonds is good, right? And then it goes 2 spades by west, past 3 spades, and now it's back to you. So I'm going to give you your poll here, our last hand. Take a look at your hand, and what would you bid with west's hand with this auction? So you have 4 spades, 6 spades, 7 spades, and 5 clubs. So take about a minute to answer. All right, about 10 more seconds on the poll. It's like 2 choices here. Oh no, here comes 4 spades. 4 spades is coming alive. I sort of tipped you guys off because I said I wanted to talk about voidwood on the last hand. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. Here we go. All right, so 5% bid 4 spades. 26% bid 6 spades. And 68% bid 5 clubs. All right, so what do we want to know? What's the one thing we want to know about partner's hand? What partner has in their hand? Right, they've shown us a control because they've raised the 3 spades. But that control could be the ace of clubs. Could be a void in hearts. That would be lousy. It could be the king of diamonds. Could be the ace of spades or the king of spades, right? But what we really need to know is not particularly the king of diamonds, because east doubled diamonds, so that's very, south doubled diamonds, so it's very unlikely that partner's got the king of diamonds. But we need to know if partner has the ace or the king of spades, right? So 6 spades, having no other system, 6 spades, why not, right? The odds are partner's got the king or the ace of spades. But if you happen to play voidwood, that would be what you'd want to do here. And this is what it's called, exclusion blackwood or voidwood. And it's when you have a void in a suit and you can jump. It has to be a jump past game. Okay, so the last bid on the table is 3 spades. And jumping to 5 clubs would be exclusion, or is the technical name of it. People call it voidwood to help them remember, because what it is it's blackwood without responding in the void suit. Okay, so you jump in your void. It has to be a jump though. If the last bid on the table was 4 spades, 5 clubs would be a Q bid. Okay, it has to be a jump past game in a side suit, not in the trump suit. And if you play key card, this would be key card, right? So partner would answer the ace of spades, the king of spades. They would not, however, answer the ace of clubs, right? Your 5 club bid is saying, I don't want to hear about your ace of clubs partner. I only want to hear if you've got the ace or the king of spades, or both. Okay, so if you have both, then you would respond showing 2. If you don't play key card, then it's straight aces, right? Again, you wouldn't respond the ace of clubs, but you would respond the ace of spades. It's very helpful if you can respond the king of spades, but that's a whole nother world. Maybe your partner's not ready to play key card yet, so don't worry about that. The concept is the voidwood, being able to ask for aces, ask for controls, or ask for key cards, whatever your method is. Excluding, that's why it's called exclusion blackwood, excluding the suit that you're jumping in. So if partner showed you 5 diamonds, they'd be saying, I don't have any key cards. I don't have the ace of spades, I don't have the king of spades. And then you would sign off in 5 spades. If they were to respond 5 hearts, then they would be showing 1, and you could bid 6 spades. The 1 being either the king of spades or the ace of spades. If they were to show you 2 by bidding 5 spades, then you could bid 7 spades. But because the king of diamonds is in the pocket, right? Because South doubled 2 diamonds. That was very nice of South, by the way, to tell you where the king of diamonds was. Probably not the best double they ever made. But the point on this hand is the idea of voidwood. because you can't Blackwood, right? Because you got a void. Your partner might tell you they've got one key card and it's the ace of clubs, and that does you no good. You're off the ace king of spades. Yes, the responses would be up the line from whatever suit you were void in. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So go read the blog. Let me give you that address again. If you have any questions about Voidwood, because I did it so fast, then send me an email. My email's here as well. And hopefully I'll be able to get the mass email out so you guys can sign up. I may have to do it another way to let you know some other way for you to sign up. I'm not sure what's going on with the internet here in India. But follow along the World Championships, follow along the blog. And if you have any questions about how to get to how to get around this to finding all of the different things, send me an email and I'll walk you through it. 6 spades is 2 aces. 5 spades would be 2 aces. If I said 6 spades, I didn't mean to, even if it's trump. 5 spades, so it's up the line, 0, 1, 2, up the line. And hopefully I will see you guys next Wednesday, same time, 10 a.m. Central Time, 8:30 p.m. my time, and those that are all over the country, your own time. And we'll be doing defensive hands again. And I figured out how to do the layout so it won't be as confusing with the white spaces we had a while ago. I'm going to be posting this. Hopefully I'll get it posted on the page that all the other ones have been posted. If I can't get the mass email out, those that have been here before, you know what link I'm talking about. They're in previous emails. If this is your first webinar with me, shoot me an email and I'll send you the link to where you can get both the handout and the video. And thank you for coming today. And I look forward to seeing you next week or online. And enjoy the blog and all of the exciting things going on. And hopefully we'll have some updates on the Polish team in the next day or two. Hopefully my internet will be a little bit stronger next week. So anyway, have a good week, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Thank you. Bye.